Hey, LTG.
Oh,
All right, no porn today.
hello.
Hey, LTG.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry, I just got out of the shower. Let me close this down. Whoa. Great, but it's not porn. It's just one second.
Yeah, let's not have any more titty flashes today.
Wrong avatar.
Yeah, no
Good morning.
Good morning, boss. How's it going?
Just got up, literally.
Oh, well, thank you for joining us. Or thank you for
Yeah.
joining me this morning. Glad I'm your wake-up call.
Yeah, well, I saw it was late, like 9 o'clock late. And then I saw you were late.
Yeah, it's a Monday. Just being a little late
You're
today.
usually not late.
Today I was. Just had a bit of an off-sleep schedule. Hey, Sarah. How's it going? Sarah's My Flock is everywhere. Oh, she's Gap After Dark. Oh my God, that's the biggest man titty I've ever seen. Hail Gap. LSG, LDG. All right.
LDS.
Yeah.
I don't know what LSG stands for.
I don't know either.
Like MSG?
Maybe.
Am I as bad as MSG, Cap? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say it.
Oh, I go good on Chinese. What are
Mm.
you trying to say? I don't understand. Either way, it's kind of scary.
LDG on a stick.
Yeah.
LTG tasty. LTG tasty.
How many licks does this take to get in the center of LTG?
I'll leave that.
2, 3. Oh shit!
I will leave. I will leave Yvette to determine how many licks it takes. Because
Well, I'm sure Yvette will find out one way or another. Anywho, let me get dressed.
Oh yeah, boss, take your time, man.
And do what I gotta do here.
And, do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
We're just hanging out. We're not, that's the nice thing about these streams is we're just chilling. No stress. No need for that in life.
Mm-hmm.
We're jamming.
Do.
So right. What LDG's getting ready?
I don't think I have a shirt. No shirt? What?
Well, you do live in Florida, so I mean,
you gotta have a shirt. What the hell? Oh, that's a. Ooh.
Shouldn't put that there. And
jackpot.
Hey, bud, what's up? Yeah, when I said that to you, I was just like, maybe he's taking the day off.
Now, I don't normally take days off unless I make it very clear, but I was just running late today.
No worries, man. Life gets in the way. I just got out of Twitter jail about 2.5 hours ago after 12 hours.
In Twitter jail?
Again?
What did you do?
I don't suffer pedophiles or their supporters.
Oh,
that's what you tweeted?
No.
It was about the drag queens, wasn't
it?
I
tweeted was...
Oh,
what I tweeted
the
was...
drag shit that you guys were going crazy on? Sorry.
I'm trying to finish here.
Yeah.
What I did was basically what I said probably would be construed as I was threatening the person, which, if I'm being fucking honest, I was. What happened was they said, name the time and place. I named the place and I said, you pick the time and the date and I'll be there. I have no regrets.
Yeah.
I think at that point, the person realized I was being serious. I wasn't fucking around.
Yeah.
I think the person was laughing his ass off while he was trolling you.
Yeah, probably, but I was already heated from I was already heated from something else. Oh, shit. Sorry about that. I got to take my meds.
No worries.
Well,
That's what people like that.
I have to keep. Well, I take meds at 7. I take meds at 9, and I take meds at 5. But I keep my alarm on because if I don't, I sometimes might get distracted and forget. So let me go take those real quick. I'll mute.
Yep.
How's it going for the city?
It's going good. We're just kind of just messing around today, just chilling. So, just taking it easy. No stress in life. At least not here. Oh, come on. Connect that. Connect that. Jesus Christ. Okay. That's just my boss messaging me that she is out of office today, which is, damn, she is early texting out everybody this morning.
So what got me suspended mainly was I was already heated and pissed off about something prior related to the similar issue I was talking about. And I thought, either I guess you can kind of say I let my temper get the better of me, or I just let my temper fly. I think after I thought about it, I was like, I just let my temper fly.
Yeah.
And because normally if I lose my temper, I tend to be in the wrong. But I was thinking about that one. I was like, no, I didn't lose my temper. I was purposely trying to do what I was doing. I was letting my anger go. And I regret nothing.
It's called Let the Hate Flow Through You, NB. Yes.
Oh, trust me, I would be a Sith. I'd be a Sith Lord. No chance I could make it as a Jedi.
Yeah. No, I hear you there.
Kind of an interesting topic about that. It was interesting how the dynamic between the Jedi and the Sith was one thing was they always rejected attachments.
Mm-hmm.
But in the EU, that wasn't always the case. I actually equated when I was reading the EU. Ooh, got a sexy lady in the house.
Oh, she knows. She knows she's my internet crush. She knows that.
You ever actually gotten to talk to her in person?
Not in person, but
No. I mean, like on a panel or something like.
Oh,
that.
in a panel, yeah, of course, many times.
Oh yeah. I've been on some panels with her. She can be real fun.
Who's her? And why are we talking about her like a tool?
We're a kitty. And we are not talking about her like a tool.
Just sounded that way.
Oh, wasn't meant that
that's
way.
your opinion because you're nuts.
It's like, baseball can be fun. Oh yeah.
Hey, Bird.
Could be fun.
Oh yeah, so can soccer, but let's be honest, nobody in America cares.
Hey Dan. Welcome. More Gap After Dark.
What's going on, Gap? Oh, BK Dan, I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
BK's been around.
Oh, I'm sure he has. I haven't been on.
I've seen him.
I haven't been around when he's been on.
All right, everybody, one moment. Bird.
Hello world, it's Birdo Prey 5 cups long.
Thank you, Bird. How are you doing?
Not bad. How's the city going? Good morning, everyone.
The city's going good.
Yep.
Good.
Okay.
Ah, shit. Afterwards, I gotta pay some bills, but I really don't like doing that, so I think I'll just wait.
You can always just mail them to somebody else. Maybe they'll pay for it.
No, I'm too lazy to mail. That's why I use my. My bank to send the checks because I'm too lazy to fucking write them. I'll take the time to write out all the information on the computer, but writing the check, just like, oh no, that's too much for me. Then again, at least I know when they mail a check out, it gets there.
Mhm.
It's like you can't say I didn't send it because my bank sent it to you. Actually, I have two banks. I've got one in California and one through USAA. Well, multiple different reasons. We have different accounts for different purposes. It was something I came up with years ago, and I talked with my wife, and I said, "What do you think about having multiple accounts for different things? Like we label those accounts for what they're for, and we make sure we focus on that for those accounts." Like for example, we had an account where we took money out of our what we call our nest egg, and we moved it over to an account that was labeled for our kids, and we put a cap on it. There was a cap limit, but the whole point of it was to help our kids when they leave the house, and help them financially in those struggling, if they're struggling or anything or get started. Which was a good thing because my daughter, once she moved out of her ex-boyfriend's house, she did need some help.
Yeah. Well, when you move out of this is why I wasn't necessarily worried about my ex-girlfriend when we broke up, but I was like, I'm not trying to dissuade you, but it's like, what are you going to, it's like, I'm concerned. I want to make sure you're going to be, taking care of yourself when we separate, because we've been together for so long. It's just like, everybody needs some help when they get out of that kind of situation.
Before my wife and I started dating, I met this girl. I was living in California. I was in NorCal, and I met this chick online who lived in Reno. And so I went to Reno and hooked up with her. We, a few months later, moved in together, but there was like this hesitation with me. I was like, okay, I want to do this, but I'm like, I need to be able to make sure I can afford the damn apartment if this doesn't work out. Because I just wasn't convinced it was going to work out. But the sex was fucking great. So, I was kind of pussy whipped a little bit, but I was like, I have to think ahead.
Yeah.
With the other head.
So when you were in North Cal, where were you exactly, if you don't mind me asking?
Do you know where Roseville is?
Not off the top of my head. I only ask because I used to live up in Santa Rosa. So
I never was there. Do you know Chico?
that sounds familiar, but no, I don't know that off the top of my head.
Well, I was stationed at Beale Air Force Base for 7 years, and I lived in multiple cities there. I lived in Maryville, or is it Marysville? Marysville. I lived in Linda, which was an absolute shithole. I'm doing good, B. King Dan. And I eventually, when I hooked up with that chick and I moved in, I moved to a town called Lincoln, which was just right outside of Roseville. And Roseville is a pretty big city in California. And honestly, I really enjoyed the place. Unfortunately, I never got a fucking chance to go to the Sierra Nevada mountains. That actually is, huh?
Don't worry, they're not going anywhere.
Oh, I already took my meds. It's okay. But yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get back out to California. Actually, there are really two cities I really want to go to that I've never been to. One of them is Branson City, Missouri, as I like to call it, Missouri or Misery. And the other is Cincinnati. I drove by, and the reason why is I drove by Cincinnati so many freaking times. I'm like, I really would like to see what the city looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And Branson City, Missouri is, a big tourist attraction over there, or you may not know. But I've never got a chance. Oh yeah, I've never got a chance to go, but everybody who tells me that they go loves it.
That's just one of those places where I don't expect to go, but
Well, it's been on my list. It's really those are the two cities on my list, on my bucket list. I'd like to do. Some people try to ask me if I'm ever going to go to Chicago. I said I'm from Illinois. Fuck Chicago.
yeah, I'm good. I only visited Chicago once, and I was good with that. And that was when I was a youngin. I'm like, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Don't need to come back here anymore.
Now, I would not mind. I don't particularly care for New York, but I would not mind going and seeing Niagara Falls again. I would be all for that because my grandmother took me when I was. We lived in West Virginia at the time, and my grandmother would always take me on. My grandmother did two things that stuck out with me really much. Was she took me to the movies, she introduced me to Star Trek, and she took me on a lot of vacations, and one of them was we went into New York City and we went to Niagara, and we're a little bit on the American side, and then we did go over to the Canadian side.
Mhm. That's something I'd like to do, is to go visit Canada. Hey, Cody Guy, good morning.
BK Dan, yeah, I always wondered if there really was a WKRP.
I take it there's
Yeah,
not.
I totally understand the reference he's talking about. I will tell you one thing. I've only been to Canada twice in my life. I would love to take my family back to visit. I will say this: the lake. One thing that stood out to me
Mhm.
is the lakes are goddamn beautiful. There was this lake. I remember this very well too. There was this lake. I don't know which one it was, but like it looked like crystal glass. You could see all the way to the bottom, and it looked so close. And then I stuck my head underwater and realized I'm looking at like 30 feet down.
Mm. It- excuse me. That reminds me. That reminds me of Lake Tahoe. Because
Oh,
you
that's
can
where I
see.
got married.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
Um,
actually. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'll
the
finish.
last thing I was gonna say was my ex girlfriend. She lives out in Truck. One of my ex girlfriends. She lives out in Truckee, where she used
I
to,
know where that is.
and her parents
I don't-
actually. I think they also got married in Truckee. Now that I think about it, so just small little world. Anyways, you were saying?
So what ended up happening? The reason why we chose Lake Tahoe was at our base. Our unit had a raffle for a for a 3-night stay in Lake Tahoe at a very nice place. And my wife and I put in 2 raffle tickets at the very last minute and ended up winning. Although we sometimes question if the guy rigged it for us to win. Because we knew the guy. We didn't ask him to do it, but we sometimes wonder. It's like, wait a minute. But
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, whatever. I never asked him about it because I wasn't going to call him out. He was a good friend of mine. And I was like, hey, man, if you just hook me up, so be it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to turn down a free trip to Lake Tahoe for some moral, morality shit. But we got up to Tahoe, and this was during the wintertime.
Oh,
It was around
okay.
December. It was around December time. And oh my God, the first way we took up there was all those the GPS took us down the back roads and those really high areas. And
Mhm.
trust me, we did not take that way back home. I was scared to death. I was scared to death we were gonna fly off the mountain.
Jeez.
I was gonna take a wrong turn and fly. But the place was fun. We had a great time. I love the area. I almost considered moving there. I was like, this is a place I could retire in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is just gorgeous. And when my wife and I decided to get married, we picked Lake Tahoe, and we picked a particular area in Lake Tahoe where, you could see, Lake Tahoe in the background. It was very open and everything, and it was absolutely beautiful. The only downside was you couldn't really see a blue sky because it was during one of those times where the wildfires were going like shit.
Yeah.
And if you know anything about California, when those wildfires go, it's that the pollution is bad.
Oh yeah. Well, even when that did happen, even in Reno, you could see the effects of the fires too, because I mean, it was so close to the border.
Yeah, I had a fun one once. Somebody was like, "Why'd you get that piercing?" I'm like, well, there was a girl. He's like, okay, never mind. I'm like, yeah, you know where this is going.
It's like, yes, I do. Don't need to know, but that's okay.
But yeah, I mean, I did. I make that joke all the time. I'm like, why do guys do stupid things? I'm like, normally the response will be, well, there was this girl. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense now. Now we know why you did it. Wait a minute, is that an incomplete bridge?
Where? Up here?
Yeah.
No, it's an underground bridge.
Oh, it's an underground bridge. Oh, okay. Okay, sorry.
Don't worry.
The only time I've ever been
An
in
underground bridge is commonly referred to as a tunnel.
Thank you, Bird.
The only time I've ever been in anything like that is or anything related to that was going through the Appalachian Mountains, because there's two tunnels that are going one way and going back that go through a mountain.
Yeah, we have. I think it's called the Eisenhower Tunnel, and that goes right through the mountains. So real fun time going through those.
Now, Bird, I have a question for you. What is that tunnel called that goes underwater in New York?
Oh, the tunnel. We have several. We have the Midtown Tunnel. We have the Battery Tunnel. Brooklyn Battery goes between Brooklyn and Lower Manhattan. The Midtown Tunnel goes between Queens and Midtown Manhattan. And there's one that goes through to New Jersey.
The Jersey Tunnel?
No, not the Jersey Tunnel. The Battery. Actually, the Battery, they gave it a name recently. They named it after some person. It's the New Jersey Tunnel.
What's is it just
the Lincoln
because
Tunnel?
Those are on, Oh, the Lincoln Tunnel. Okay. Is those underground tunnels mainly because of the area?
Oh, and we also have the Holland Tunnel.
Now that one I've heard of. Never been through any of them. Or at least if we did when my grandmother took me to Niagara Falls, I don't freaking know.
The tunnels are because, tall ships need to pass up and down the waterway, and you'd have to build a giant bridge like the George Washington Bridge for the ships to pass under.
Okay, that makes sense. I don't think people in BK Dan, I don't think people in New York City are really that upset. I think I think they're just always in a hurry. And also, New Yorkers are passionate people.
Oh yeah, they are.
Not BK Dan. Sorry, I didn't get the joke. Why would you go to Jersey? No. So, Bird, is there really a rivalry between New York and Jersey at time? or is that just something we
Of course,
non?
there's a rivalry. I mean,
What's that?
New Jersey is a dirty backwater state that's basically made its money by handling New York's garbage over the years.
Why does that sound like not? Why is I'm not surprised a New Yorker would say that about Jersey? That's like but I respect it because that's like being here in Illinois, or I live in Indiana, but being from Illinois, you know, if you're not from Cook County, you hate Cook County.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, it's not a friendly rivalry. We just flat out hate them. They screw us and they screw the rest of the state and get all the money. It's like we say, Illinois was so much more civilized when the mob ran it.
Well, on that note, I'm going to go grab another cup of coffee here. So I'll be right back. So feel free to talk amongst yourselves. Remember, no titty flashes unless I'm here.
I don't think anybody wants to see me lift my shirt. Bird, you got a comment from BK Dan.
Bird, did you hear about the hurricane that hit New Jersey? It did $500 million in improvements.
That's a first.
In all honesty, after Sandy hit the entire area, I mean, certainly where it hit in Brooklyn, which was, I mean, it hit the entire area for hundreds of miles. But the particular part of Brooklyn I used to live in got hit pretty bad. And with all the funds they had after the storm, they cleaned it up better than it ever was. I mean, they replaced what was overgrown weeds with beautiful actual usable parkland. They tore down the old garbage and put up brand new modern facilities. I mean, it was, don't get me wrong, it was terrible when it happened, and it cost millions of, maybe billions of dollars, but they got their money's worth. And a year or two later, those places were better than they'd ever been. They still are in a lot of places to this day. So it was.
I hadn't thought about Hurricane Sandy. I hadn't thought about Hurricane Sandy, but I do remember with the devastation it did.
It did a lot of devastation. I'm not saying it didn't, but they were, I don't know how they got the money, or the federal government was especially loose with the coffers, as they probably were. But, you know, like Democrats, you know, at least Democrats giving money to a Democrat stronghold. So there was plenty of it for rebuilding. And they used it to not just replace what was there, but, you know, make it better.
Wait a minute. Democrats actually did something useful?
You know, it was.
I'm not trying to get political.
It was unfortunate.
I'm just making a joke.
It was the beginning of Chris Christie's downfall, because he was, of course, the Republican governor of New Jersey, and you know, Republicans were so on him, being he was from New Jersey to begin with. But once he hugged Obama, because Obama came and basically said, yeah, Chris, here's $1 billion or $5 billion. And he legit hugged Obama on the news. Well, then that clip went viral. Obama's approval rating went up a bit, especially among Republicans, and they blamed Chris Christie, and he was kind of ostracized from the party. Unfortunate, because what he did was exactly what he needed to do. He was doing what was best for the people of his state, and what was best for the people of his state was to butter up to the president, even if the president was from the other party at the time. But
Yeah,
a
you
lot
know
of
what? I
people
remember.
didn't see past it, and they kind of, I could tell it was like he changed the narrative, and a lot of people never forgave him because
Oh
it,
yeah,
it, it kind of did help Obama with his reelection.
well, I do remember. I do remember that. I never faulted Chris Christie for that, but now, mind you, I know I know I say I'm a very strong conservative, but when it came to the '08 election, I did vote for Obama. So did my wife because we both agreed. We felt he was the best candidate, and we thought the other guy was going to die in office. We didn't. I couldn't stand.
I
What was
don't
it,
know how
John
you can
McCain?
claim to be a conservative and voted for Obama, but I'm not going to argue with it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
let's
can
Don't
tell
get me
you that.
wrong, you could claim
Oh
to be
no
an
no no no
independent
no!
and vote for Obama, but
No.
honestly, to
I
say
can.
you're a conservative and voted for Obama, that literally makes about as much sense as claiming to be a conservative and voting for abortion and tax increases.
Okay, you're making a stretch there, but what I'm saying is, in '08, I didn't have my values as far as the conservative values realized. Uh,
So you
'08, I
weren't a
voted.
conservative in 08.
Huh?
So
I wasn't.
you weren't a conservative in 08.
No, I wasn't a conservative in '08.
Okay, then
I
that's
didn't even
fine.
know what a conservative was back then.
Okay.
What had happened was I started seeing what was going on. I started getting more involved in politics, and I was like, where are my values? Where do they line up? What really are my values here? And I was really thinking about that. And I took several really deep surveys, and I was like, oh, I'm actually conservative. Which that didn't come about until about 2012. I just saw things going on, and I was like, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, where are my values? And eventually, I did figure them out. But I was much younger back then in '08, so. And I wasn't, like a lot of young people, I wasn't really paying attention to politics. But I started paying attention more and more, and eventually I had to make a choice and say, okay, where the hell are my values? But so I found myself to be very conservative with also very strong libertarian views, specifically because big conservatives do not like the idea of legalization of weed, whereas libertarians
All they can talk
are totally for it.
So you know what? That's a good icebreaker. I'm going to go off screen for just a second then, since you mentioned it.
Gonna have a bowl, buddy?
Oh yeah, I haven't had one yet.
Oh,
well, no,
please.
I take that back.
Oh.
I did have a little bit of a dab earlier, and I was thinking about what to do today, and I think today is going to be one of my days working from home, so that way I can stay on stream a little bit longer since I started late. So,
Cool beans.
I agree with BK Dan. I tend to find myself being very much a centralist, but I don't know. Is that what that sign? Is that what that logo is? JP's? Is that Tommy Hilfiger or whatever the fuck it is? I don't know. It's just a joke.
I'm just. This is how I am. This is why this is one of my strong parts about being a conservative. I am huge into the 10th Amendment and states' rights. I don't want my Midwestern values pushed on Floridians because I know Floridian values because I've lived there. I'm referring to ULDG. I know those values that Floridians have. My mother's been there for 35
real
years.
quick, just Floridian means you're born in Florida.
My
Not
mother's
that
been
you
there
live
35
in
years.
Florida.
She's Floridian.
You don't get opted in being Floridian.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Okay, argue with my mother. Argue with my mother about that and see how well that's going to work out. She will eat
You
you
can't
for
be a New
breakfast
Yorkan unless
with
you're
fruit
from New
juice.
York. Born from New York. Can you not?
That's wrong.
No,
you can
I'm not
certainly become
talking
a New
about where you are
Yorker.
born. I'm talking about
You've lived in New
I'm
York your whole
talking
life.
about.
You're a New Yorker.
I'm talking about the values. That's what I'm talking about. I have Midwestern
Okay,
values.
the
where I live.
values,
My
though, doesn't
Ellen-
make a lot of sense because every state has both values or
Yeah,
multiple
exactly.
values.
Well, and that's where I was trying to go with it. I don't want
But
my
what's
values
Floridian
pushed.
values? That doesn't make any sense to me because there's as many Floridians who would vote
give up.
one way as the other way.
Okay, I give up.
I mean, no, like honestly, like what's a
No.
Floridian value?
I'm not going to sit here and try and explain it because that's not where I was going. What I was saying was I don't want to push my Midwestern values on Floridians.
Okay, well, what's a Midwestern
more
value?
than I would want to push them on New Yorkers.
Okay, what's a New Yorker value? What's a Midwestern value? That's what I don't understand why you're using geographic.
Because our
geographic
cultures are
Stereotyping
different.
from
yeah, to talk
location.
about
Because our
values.
cultures are because our cultures are different.
But what is okay? But what is a value that all of the Midwest shares? I don't think it exists.
I didn't say all the Midwest shares. I said my Midwestern values, mine.
So that
My values.
so you could just
They're
take
just yours, they're not
take the word
Midwestern.
Midwestern out and just say my
They're
values.
your values. They're not Midwestern
Okay,
values.
you know what? I'm done with this. Okay, you guys are just
I'm-
wanting to fight to fight.
Why aren't you
I'm not
having fun with
fighting
us?
to
Why are you
fight.
taking this
I'm-
personally? Stop.
Yeah, I
Dear
just
God.
want to understand is that, or maybe suggest you not call them Midwestern if they're not shared by people in the Midwest.
They are shared by people in the Midwest. What do
Well,
you want me
what
to do?
value
Draw
is
you
shared by
about?
everyone
Do
in
you
the
want me to
Midwest?
draw you a roadmap of Illinois values versus Indiana values versus
I would love
Chicago
a couple of
values
examples
versus
of Indiana
Ohio
values.
values?
I
I'm
would love
sorry,
a couple.
I can't do
Can you
that.
give me
I'm
two
using a
examples?
generic term, and you're getting pissed about it.
Can you give me two examples of a value that's shared by Indianans but not Illinoisans? I'm just curious. Like literally, I have serious curiosity.
Yes,
What is
our
is
yes,
because
our
it's not
values are
abortion,
different
it's not gun
on.
rights.
Our values
what
are
is
different
it?
on weed. Our values are different
No,
on
okay,
cigarettes.
your
our
values are not different on
alcohol.
weed.
You asked me a question.
Hey, come on.
Everybody calm down.
This is supposed to be a chill stream.
Exactly.
Well, I wasn't trying to make it a big deal.
You are by taking it personally. Stop being defensive. Jeez, play along with it. I was making a joke about Floridians or New Yorkans. That's all.
I wasn't joking.
Anyway,
Well,
let's move on. Let's
yeah.
move on.
Yeah, NB and Bird, I mean, if you want to have that kind of conversation, by all means. I'm not going to stop you. But like I said, we're just trying to chill here. We're just trying to relax. We're just trying to get our Monday started off on the right foot, whatever foot that might be. But, you know.
No, I was just making a point that I've only been in New York for 6 years, but I was born there. I was there long enough to have memories from New York. And then I get called a Floridian.
Well,
I fucking can't stand this fucking state. I want to get the hell out of here.
Then move.
I will, as soon as I can.
You get a big ass house. I'm sure the housing. I'm sure you can get good money for it.
Once it's mine. Right now, it's not mine yet.
What are you renting?
No.
So
Mother
you
owns
own
it. Father
Huh?
owned it. He passed. Now mother owns it. When she passes, I'll own it. Then I can sell it. which I'm not in any rush to see that day
I'm not in any
because of the
rush to see that
price.
Yeah.
Price is too big. I'll wait. But you're damn straight. I'll sell this house for like 300,000-400,000, get 200 from it, and go somewhere else.
Yeah, I can believe that. I've seen I've seen you do videos in your house. Yeah, you shouldn't have any issue getting that.
Yeah, I'm out of Florida as soon as I can. Get out of this fucking
Where
hellhole.
are you going to go?
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. Why New Hampshire?
That's like out of all the states I lived in, New Hampshire was the best. Nice and quiet. You got room between the houses. No tourist. Theme parks,
California
amusement
is
parks are
definitely off
actually
your
fun.
agenda.
Huh?
I said, so California is definitely not an option.
Oh, fuck that. Oh, no, I'm never going. No, I'm staying away from the super volcano and earthquakes and radioactive fish. Yeah, I'm staying away from that.
Now, you mentioned space between your neighbors. When I bought my house in California, I did not even own all my fence. It was literally flip-flopped. I owned one part of it, the other guy owned the other part.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
The other guy owned the other part, and the other guy owned the other part.
Everybody
so literally
fences up their side.
Was owned by 4 different people.
Yeah, which you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to build your own fence. So if that means 2 fences, then 2 fences. But we have that same shit here. My left side is not my fence. The right side is, and the back side is the country, the county's fence. So I got neighbor's fence, county's fence, and my fence.
If you could see the beams, like you could climb over it, that was mine. If it was the other way, the smooth side, that belonged to the other person. And I literally lived in a house where I could literally reach out. I literally could almost reach out and touch my neighbor's window, out my window. That's how close we were. And I was like, oh my God, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
I can't stand being in. That's why I can't live in places like either Jacksonville. I hated Tampa. Yes, it was very nice. Yes, it was very beautiful. But I hate big cities. I mean, when I hear people say in a big city, it's like, oh, well, we have all this. I'm like, yeah, how do you get there? Oh, we have to take this, this, and this. I'm like, why don't you just drive? Oh, you can't drive, man. That'll take too long. It's like you got to take the L, or you got to take the sub, or you got to take the train, or take the bus. You know, you name it. I'm like, I'm 35. I'm 30 minutes from Terre Haute, and I can get there in 30 minutes without worrying about traffic. I just don't like big cities.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Well, that's why I never moved back to Jacksonville, Florida, even though that's where my mom lives. That place is so big. I'm like, no, I can't do this. I like living in the town I live in that has a population of 600 people.
That's not bad. I don't think.
I'm just a Midwestern redneck.
And I am just a former. I don't know. Would you consider West Virginia to be in the redneck territory?
No, I would call you. No, I would not call you a redneck. I'd call you something along the lines of coal country.
Okay, I was thinking along the lines of a northerner, but yeah. Most of my grandparents definitely worked in the coal mines, and yeah, I remember hearing stories about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say redneck for West Virginians. I'd say, kind of like in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee was kind of a blend between the coal and the trains. But I know where I was from in Illinois, I grew up in a steel mill town.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would go with something. I mean, I don't know how to exactly put it into another context other than yeah. I would say yeah, you're something with the coal. Although,
Which,
if I'm being honest, West Virginia was absolutely fucking beautiful.
yeah, I would go along with that.
Where are you from in West Virginia?
Morgantown. We chatted about this before, where you were along the western border of Pennsylvania, and
Oh
I was
yeah, we
along.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah. I would love to go to West Virginia and take my kids to Oglebay Park. Actually, I'd love to go back myself, just because I had so many great memories when my grandmother took me there. I actually saw my first baseball game in Pittsburgh.
Oh,
It was the Cardinals versus the Padres. My dad is a huge Cards fan. I mean, we grew up right outside of St. Louis, so what do you expect?
yeah, I understand.
It was so funny when funny story here when the Rams came to St. Louis. I was like, oh, this ain't gonna last. And as soon as I found out they were demanding money from the city to update their stadium, I'm like, you ain't the fucking Cardinals. Because St. Louis and that area there, that is a baseball town.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
Second to that is the hockey team. And I even said when the Rams got there, I said, you know, if it comes down between the Cardinals, the Rams, and I don't know the name of the hockey team, but I was like, the Rams are going to be gone. And what do you know? I was right.
Yeah.
St. Louis ain't never getting rid of them. I think they went to, I don't know, LA maybe? I don't know.
Okay.
I know the Bears are moving out of one area of Chicago in Soldier Field and buying. I guess they're buying a stadium, or they're going to buy They're going to buy land in like the suburb area of Chicago, not in the main city where Soldier Field is. And Chicagoans are not happy about that. They are pissed. The mayor the mayor, who is a piece of shit, even was throwing a fit about it. She tried to offer them money and stuff, and they're like, no, not going to happen. We want to move. We're going to move it to the burbs.
Yeah. Okay. Didn't realize that. Didn't know a lot of that either.
I don't know much about, well, I'll be honest. I only know about that because I follow politics. I don't pay much attention to sports. I don't want, listen, I'm going to say something very unpopular with a lot of people. I find football boring as hell to watch.
That's okay. I've gotten over it after all the years of being in the marching band and having to be there for all the rallies. I'm just like, nope, I'm good. I'm done. I don't need to do this anymore. But all I know is that when I go home, it's Steelers. That's all I remember.
Oh yeah, you know it's funny you bring that up, MKG. During my 20 years in the military, the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers were the three biggest paraphernalias I would see people have, but the Steelers were the biggest. I mean, I knew guys who had tattoos of that their logo, the multicolored one they have.
Yeah, doesn't
and
surprise
I mean,
me.
those motherfuckers are passionate about their Steelers. Kind of like I would equate it to, you know, with the Cowboys and the Packers and the Steelers, because any other football team I've ever seen that people, you know, that are fans of, I say those are they tend to be fans, but these people are passionate. My commander one time, him and his wife were, you know, diehard Green Bay Packer fans, and he said, yeah, you'll have my wife getting up on the couch and screaming at the referee or screaming at the coach. And I'm just like, it always blew my mind when I heard stuff like that, because I'm like, I don't know how you get that passionate about football, but I'm like, okay, maybe it's a cultural thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can make the same argument for a bunch of other things, like, why I'm so passionate about various video games. Why do I like to only play certain genres? I'm like, well, it's just what I like to play. So
no, I get it. Yeah, I get it. I just, I never could get my mother. Like I said, lives in Jacksonville, Florida. She was there before the Jaguars got there, but once they were created, she became a diehard Jaguars fan.
I see.
And I watched football with her. I never got the appeal of it. I was like, this is taking too fucking long. And then I had the irony is I'm more interested in watching golf than I am. I'm more interested in watching people do golf than I am football. I actually enjoy watching someone when they're, trying to get their last putt in, or, maybe they get a hole in one, or they get a birdie, or get an eagle or double eagle. I find that actually more exciting.
Okay.
It's a preference thing, obviously.
Right. That's what I was about to get at. Let's see.
Now, baseball I can watch. I do enjoy baseball. I was actually thrilled to death that Albert Pujols, after he took his 10-year vacation in California, came back from one last year in St. Louis. And he was welcomed back with open arms. It was like, okay, you had your 10-year break. We all understood why you went. You did great things for our team. He came back for his last season. I think he wanted to finish where he started, and actually finished very strong. They made it to the playoffs. They didn't win the World Series, but him and Tony La Russa did help, and Molly, God, I can't say his name. I'm going to butcher it. I'm not going to try. The catcher, they were close. I mean, they were like almost like you'd see them on the field, and it'd be like they were almost like brothers.
Okay. Interesting.
Now, that is one thing I have not gotten to do. I actually told my daughter, I said, I was like, I want to take you to a baseball game at Busch Stadium. And she's like, have you ever actually gone to Busch Stadium to see a baseball game? I'm like, no, but I want to.
Yeah, see, for me, it's almost the opposite. I could kind of watch football, but baseball, I just really like, just give me the beer at that point. Just bring on the beer.
Cincinnati, McGuire, and Bonds. Okay. JP's, I get where you're going there. I totally get where you're going there. Totally understand. Yeah, man, when McGuire retired, yeah. I hate the fact that some of them got mired in that steroid controversy, though, especially Bonds.
Yeah. Excuse me.
I still think that one guy needs to be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. I'm trying to think of his name, but it's escaping me.
I couldn't tell you.
Well, the thing was, it had nothing to do with baseball. It had to do with gambling. And I'm sorry, but because he gambled doesn't mean that it shouldn't have an effect on the fact that he was an amazing player. I'm just unfortunately drawing a blank on his name right now. Pete Rose. Thank you, JP. Thank God, I was hoping you got it. Yeah, Pete Rose. Oh, Keela Chow knew who I was talking about. Thank you very much, you guys.
Oh, hi, Keely. I don't think I've seen you around that much. The name sounds familiar. We're just hanging out.
Yeah, met. Yeah, seen Keely Chow in chat several times
Okay.
over several different places. You'd be amazed how many of us actually talk to each other in the chat sometimes.
Oh,
Well, I mean, like JP's, BK Dan, Keely Chow. I'm like, I recognize all these names.
Yeah. Well, I'm just checking back in on the StreamYards, and I'm actually pleasantly shocked. I think this is the first time in a stream where it's actually hit more than 10 people concurrently watching. So thank you everybody for joining me this morning. This is a bit of a milestone, really.
Okay, I'll try not to screw it up for you.
No worries. We've already talked the politics. We've already talked about don't do any titty flashes on the stream unless I get to see it first. Things like that.
Oh yeah, I had to get informed on that. I had to get informed on what the context of that was, but okay, I found out.
And I just realized I should apologize. I did not know if Mama Prey was listening, so I should have said just flashing. So I apologize. I try and be respectful, but sometimes it doesn't work.
She is almost never listening. I always have my headphones in, so you don't need to worry.
Thank you, Bird.
Okay, JPs, I see where you're coming from there.
Yeah, JPs, of course, there is absolutely nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with that. Well, no. Okay, so context for everybody who's here who may not have been aware of it. I was doing an open panel stream on Saturday, and I was hit by the bots and the trolls. And one of them got in. I wasn't paying attention because I give people the benefit of the doubt sometimes. And, imagine just a big sucker just right here where my face should be. That was me. And so I let him on. We did some banter bullshit, and then all of a sudden there was a quick titty flash, and it was obviously porn, and I had to take it down immediately. And I was like, well, great. This is a stream that I now have to delete, which has now been deleted, so you can't find it anywhere. But that's why I'm just trying to be a little bit more cautious now, not be so gullible. But that's essentially what happened. What was it? Saturday. And then Sunday I made a joke about it, and now we're just trying to move on and hopefully not be so gullible moving forward.
I think on Captain Freedom Nerd's morning channel sometime back, I think we had a troll come on, and they basically flashed their dick at us. I think that was on Captain Freedom Nerd's channel, but it was on somebody's channel. So yeah, it happens, buddy. That was honestly, I think, when a lot of people were starting to be like, okay, we got to focus on who these people are.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, for me at least, if I can see your face prior, then, I'll feel more comfortable letting you on. But that's the one thing I should probably just say. It's like, if you want to come on, just show your face in the back, and then you can come out. Because
nope. You need okay. So let me.
That doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
people are willing to.
I agree. No,
don't give a shit
I appreciate your willingness to think there's a way forward, or that this isn't going to happen again because of some rule. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen again. Okay. You let people on. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen again. That's why I have an automatic safety on my live streams. I just blank out the screen, mute the mic, let them on, and because most likely trolls are not even watching the channel anyway, and let them fuck up, kick them off, and then turn your stream back on.
I see.
If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna let people on, if you're gonna get,
well, yeah, if
you're gonna be tight about the invitations, then that's fine too. But then you're gonna have people who imitate people. So it'll say Bird of Prey. It'll look like Bird of Prey. It won't be Bird of Prey, or maybe it looks like, oh, I don't know. I'll just say a random name: heel versus baby face.
I see.
One of the things, some of the panels I saw, the hosts would, and I think Captain Friedner was most with this one, is he would just ask in the back, the private chat, just a few basic questions to see if the person's real or if they're a troll. And we started to find out it became real clear real quick who was real and who was a troll. And I've seen other people adopt that, and I would agree with that. Just and I don't know. I think Captain also, sorry, the other one,
no worries,
did also ask for people to show their face, and then just would ask basic questions. Like, no, I'm not letting you on unless you can answer these questions, unless you can answer me.
Yeah. And sometimes they just don't want to answer the questions. But what kind of questions would you ask?
Just really basic questions. Is like just basic questions. I mean, I don't have an exact example. You'd have to talk to the people who've actually, had to host those things and do that.
Okay. Well, I do like the idea of like just holding them back in the backstage area, and just kind of see, what they decide to do or what they show. But yeah, I do like the idea of trying to screen people out that way with just some basic questions.
So if you want to be 99% safe, just remember, most people won't come on your panel out of nowhere. Okay? They just don't. They'll go in the chat. If you don't know who they are, they don't type in the chat. You don't know them, right? That's number one.
Yeah, that right there. Yes, LDG. Holy shit, it's the apocalypse. LDG, and I agree on.
Well, this is some simple logic that nobody seems to get. Nobody thinks of this.
We've had people who We've had people who have said that it's like you need to put something in the chat, not the private chat, the actual chat, and they refuse to do it. And it's like, okay. That is a red flag. That is a red flag.
Oh, I see why. Because if I were to go, let's say, to the chat, oh, that's right. Then I can go to the channel of the actual user and see.
Yeah.
So, like, when you met me, you had already known LDG and Bird of Prey, BK Dan, JP's, Captain Freedom.
Or you vouched. Yeah, people get vouched.
Yeah. We vouch for each other when we know it's that person. It's like Kronos. We always call him the professional troll, but he's a fun troll. He's just a good guy. We're still trying to get him to actually come on a panel one day.
One day, but we'll see.
Oh, I don't know if it'll happen. Captain Freedom Nerd Captain Freedom Nerd was trying to give him all kinds of incentives for a while. It's just like, nope, he's not coming on. He wants to stay in the chat. But like, for example, you have BK Dan, JP's, Gap After Dark, and then you have the people in your panel here. I know all these people. I've been on chats and panels with a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other nice thing too is, like you say, they're leaving comments in the chat, so I can check and just double check and make sure.
Exactly. Yeah, and no, LDG is 100% right on that. I agree with him. Gotta hope that it doesn't become a trend.
I'm always right. You just don't.
No, I'm always right. No, I'm always right. 50% of the time, I'm right all the time.
Oh, you still have that almanac, I see.
The what?
The God, I can't. I'm not a comic comedian. Never mind. The catchphrases from the 90s almanac. Yeah. Or something.
Oh, are you talking about Back to the Future?
Yes. I'm trying to make a Back to the Future joke because your sayings are from the 90s.
Yeah, well, you failed miserably with that one. I'm sorry, bud.
Anywho. But yeah, most
Hey,
people
I
that come
wouldn't.
on,
I wouldn't.
you're gonna know them
Give you, I wouldn't
ahead
give a
of time.
shit if I didn't love you.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you could
Well,
be like me and have a little extension on your app that gets everybody's IP. So if anybody fucks with you, you just fucking fuck with them back.
see, the problem is I wouldn't know what to do to fuck with them back when I have their IP.
I can give you the websites. There's websites you can go to.
Oh, okay.
Oh, trust me. Yeah, you just talk to LDG about that. He'll hook you up.
Because I mean, yeah, I'd like to get some revenge if I can, but
You have the right to protect yourself. Your IP is protected. Someone comes into your network to fuck with you. You have the right to defend yourself.
And he's the wrong captain to fuck with. Actually, one of the other good things too is when people like that come in, we do stay together. You know, we can be pissed off at each other about things. I've gotten in arguments with LDG and Bird, and we lost our cool with each other. You've kind of seen that, but
I
if
never
somebody
lost
else
my
comes in, if
cool.
somebody else comes in and starts fucking with us who has no business there, we will band together and be like, "Oh, we will fuck your world up."
And I would never say that either. So.
What was that, Bert? I didn't hear what he said. I'm sorry.
Bird said he wouldn't say that.
Well, somebody's got to say it.
Well, just because
Come
you
on,
don't
LGG,
say
you
it
don't think?
doesn't mean
Come
you
on,
don't do it.
LGG. If somebody was fucking with you, you don't think I'd be on your side?
Of course. Well, I don't know. You took one person's side once that really aggravated me.
We're not talking about yesterday, are we?
No,
Okay.
talking like 2 years ago.
Okay, goddamn, man, that was 2 years ago. I was still getting used to this. I didn't know you that well back then. You can't compare that to now.
That's funny. I thought I lived in a world where I could do whatever I want.
Only in your head.
That's where everything exists.
in our heads.
The only thing that matters.
Hey, I'm all for. Hey, listen, I'm going to be completely honest. If anybody knows me, I have no problem with people taking revenge on other people. I also am the guy who says flat out, I'm petty. I'll take the cheap shots.
Revenge is injustice.
Revenge is a dish best served. Oh, Admiral Kirk, have you heard the old Klingon proverb? Revenge is a dish best served cold. What's very cold in space. Goddamn, Ricardo Montalban was a fucking legend.
He hasn't passed, has he?
I think he has. I thought he did. Okay, if I'm wrong, okay, fine. Somebody slapped the shit out of me. Ricardo Montalban. He died in 2009.
Huh. I feel like we should have been more aware of that. What was I doing in 2009? Oh, that's right. It was overtaken by the presidential voting and all that stuff, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah. I made so many jokes to my mother about Florida at that time.
So, okay. That makes sense.
The plane, boss. The plane.
Oh,
Oh, God, I am so terrified now to even attempt to try and watch this Willow series because the people that I regularly watch, I generally, my peers,
Mhm.
they're lambasting it. I'm like, oh God, please tell me you did not. I'm like, oh my God, did they fuck up Willow that bad?
It's like, well, here we go. It's like, yep, they did. they fucked it up. Just like everybody else fucks everything else up.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I think it was a few years ago, somebody tried to, they tried to put it out there. And sometimes I think Hollywood tries to do a feel, see if how people are going to react.
Yes, by copying
And
feel.
they were like, we're thinking about rebooting The Princess Bride. And, let's just say that did not go over well.
No, that would not go over well with anybody, in my opinion. It's like, hell no, I'm not doing that.
Oh, hell no. You're not. It's like you're going to reboot that. Oh, no, you are not going to make this for a modern audience. You are not going to fuck up my childhood, you son of a bitch. Not without a fight.
My childhood's already been fucked up by a lot of things. I don't need any more.
So, yeah. I totally get where you're going there.
Well, I mean, for me growing up, I was always a fan of the Power Rangers. And to hear when the Green Ranger passed away, it's just like, wow, the world just got a little shittier. And then I learned he also had a kid, and just like, wow, I can't even imagine.
Did he die of, or did he take his own life? I haven't kept up with that.
He took his own life.
Oh, man.
So
that's sad.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not here to judge or say anything. It's just, it just makes you want to just, hold the people closer just a little bit, because you really don't know one way or the other what's going to happen, if anything. Like, I was so paranoid the other day. I'm already not paranoid enough. I honestly thought that just because somebody had their hand in their pocket, I was like, is something going down here? And I'm like, no, it's just somebody with their hand in their pocket. Relax. So,
Well, I have to tell my son, because I have a very big problem with people looking over my shoulder. And I've had to really explain that to my son, and he finally he's like, oh, that's right. You don't like people looking over your shoulder. I don't like people close to me looking over my shoulder like that. I didn't like it in the military, and I made it very clear. I was like, please do. I was like, get the hell away from my shoulder.
Right.
I don't know why, and I have no fucking clue why it bothers me, but it just does.
I mean, it could be any number of reasons.
I've never tried to figure it out. I was just like, no, if you're over my shoulder, you need to get the hell away from me, because it's a problem.
Yes.
Well, another thing too is this one I can't explain. I was raised in a home where if you had a meal or you were indoors, you took your hat off. And I really struggled with that during the military, when sometimes I would see civilians walking around or seeing people with their hats on indoors. And I'm like, what the fuck? And it just bothered me. And it ended up coming to a head some time ago. My brother-in-law had a do-rag on. And this was the first time he actually was sitting with us. Now, I never said shit when we were at their place, but this was my home. So my rules. And I asked him to take it off, and he kind of made a big deal about it. And then he goes, is it really that damn important to you? I said, yes, it is. It's stupid in a lot of ways, but it's the way I was raised.
Right. I understand that.
And I'm like, okay, I never said anything when we went out together, when you'll go to a restaurant or something. But like, even my kids, if they had a beanie on, or my son had his hoodie on, I'm like, take that off. Remove that from your head. I'm like, it's just something that bothers me, because I was raised that way. And I don't just mean by one person. I mean, that was my whole damn family. it was seen as a sign. Basically, I think we saw it as a sign of disrespect. If that makes a goddamn bit of sense.
That's because I was raised in that same regard too. Like whenever you're inside, it was like common courtesy, just take your hat off. So
now, on another note, in my wife's family, it's traditional to take your shoes off in the house. So I had to start learning to bring slippers because I wasn't raised to do that.
yeah, that's something that my brother started doing in his house. I'm like, okay, I never realized I wanted to do that, but I guess that could be the missus too. So
we tried to do that once in our house, my wife and I, and my wife was raised under them, but it just did not take.
right. I mean, to each their own. It just depends on, like you said, how you were raised and just a bunch of different factors. But for the most part,
I mean, I'm totally fine with respecting the rules of the house when I'm the guest in the house, but I expect the same treatment in return.
Of course. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's the common courtesy that's just kind of slowly dying with the next generation.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know
I
either.
hope not. I hope not. Actually, I was talking to my. I've been up since 3 a.m. my time, and I'm on the Eastern Zone. And my daughter was actually up, and she's 12 years old. And I had a very lengthy conversation about certain, what we would call sensitive topics. And I told her my opinion on them, and I explained them, and I was giving her she would ask me questions, and I'd pull up YouTube so she'd have a visual of what I'm talking about. And I'm like, I'm raising my kid right, because she's like, this is stupid. This is bullshit. Why are people acting like this? What would be the purpose? And I said, yeah, I'm raising you. Yeah, mom and I are raising you right, because you are not. She will not. I don't feel my daughter, when she goes out into the real world, is going to be pressured to think what other people think just because of popularity or trends or shaming. I think she's actually going to be like, no, fuck you. This is wrong, and I'm calling it out.
I see. Excuse me.
Not going to go into the details of it, but
No.
my daughter is capable of listening and capable of coming up with coherent questions, coherent thoughts, feeling free to express her opinion on things. Because my daughter and I don't agree on everything. Hell, my oldest and I don't agree on everything. My son and I don't agree on everything. And I promote that with my kids. It's like, I'm not asking you to agree with everything I do, but if you're going to have an opinion, I want to hear why you have that opinion. And I want you to be able to understand. I'm going to tell you we're going to tell you, mom and I are going to tell you our opinion, and we need you to listen. And she does. And I think that's really lost on some of Gen Z and the younger millennials back then. I'm really actually concerned for this alpha generation that's coming.
Alpha generation?
After Gen Z, it's alpha. Like my grandson is part of the alpha generation.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, don't ask me why they went alpha.
My guess is probably because they didn't want to call it Generation A. But I guess my niece would be part of that generation then, since she's only 2 months old. So
thank you very much, Gap After Dark. Thank you.
all right, I'll be right back. I gotta grab my last cup of coffee, and then we'll work on ending the stream here in a little bit. So be right back.
Hey, Bird, what are your family and you doing for Christmas? Your sister and nephew coming over, or how's that working for you, bud?
Nothing special. Said before, holidays are just days here.
Huh. What about you, LDG? LDG.
I was
Bueller.
muted. Sorry. Hello. Hey.
Yeah.
I'm back.
What are you doing? What are you doing for Christmas in Florida?
Well, we'll see how we can do. Most likely not much. I'm sure mother will spend way too much money than she can. I won't be doing much. I mean, Christmas is fake, so don't really do much.
We're looking. Captain NKG, what are you doing for Christmas, buddy?
Hopefully streaming.
You don't have anybody to spend time with, except
No.
for us. I mean, if you don't, that's fine. I understand it.
Well, so here's how I usually do things on a yearly basis. I usually go to Vegas where my mother and brother live, and I go there during the Thanksgiving holiday because it's her birthday on the 26th of November. So I knock out 2 holidays, in my opinion, during the most usable time. And then because my brother and I, we both have our birthdays in December, we've kind of become, I don't want to say numb to the fact of our birthdays, but, for us, we just kind of acknowledge that, hey, another year's gone around. We're still here. So,
We're still above the dirt.
mm-hmm.
I understand. I'm actually excited remember I told you the gifts I was getting my kids, please, so I'm excited for that. And I'm really excited to see my daughter and grandson because she's finally going to be able to get back. She had to really fight to get off work.
Yeah, that's strange because I know that the Christmas holiday falls on a Sunday this year, but I guess, I don't know, our company's just not giving out the time off.
She's a hairstylist.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, she's a hairstylist. She went to school to be a hairstylist. So yeah, right around that time, everybody's getting their haircuts. I've been told Christmas Eve is one of the 23rd and 24th are 2 very busy days for them. So she really had to fight to get those off. And it was like, the boss didn't want to give her the time off. It's like she has vacation days and she freaking gave their boss plenty of notice, but her job has blackout dates.
Oh, for God's sakes. So there are just certain days she just couldn't get off even if she wanted to. That's great.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I call it bullshit.
Well, guys, that's what it is. It's bullshit. It is bullshit. So, but what was LDG saying he was doing for his holiday?
Nothing
really. I'll be online.
Okay.
I'll be around. I'm just.
You and I will
He
commiserate.
said Christmas is fake.
Well, it's an insult to me, but that's to me. It's not an insult to everybody. It's an insult to me.
Trust me.
You're only supposed to be that. You're only supposed to be that way one day of the year. It really aggravates me.
Well, that's because you're completely missing the point.
No. You're missing the point, in my opinion.
No, I'm embracing
the point is, you live in a society that says you should only really be good one day a year, and then the rest go back to normal. I mean, why is all the positivity and pureness of Christmas only on a one day a week, one day a year basis?
Not 1 day a week. It's not 1 day a week. See, in my family, it wasn't 1 day a week. It's the entire time from the moment Thanksgiving ends until New Year's. It's just
Okay, so one period. So for you, even for that, it's still not year round. It's still focusing it at a one time period.
You're
instead
not
of
listening
being
to
that way all the
You're
time.
not listening to me, LDG. It's not about what you're saying for me. What my family did was, it was just, we just took a lot of joy in that time, and we made a big event out of the entire month. Once Thanksgiving was over,
That's fine and dandy.
well, you know what? If you don't like it, tough shit. But
It's not that I don't like it. Is that you turned a question about you? It was about my point, not your point. You're supposed to see my point and move on from the conversation, not counter me like I'm a stupid idiot moron, and then just it's all about the way you see it. You asked me the question.
Then you should learn to make your point and shut up and not give me an open.
I did. Or maybe you should think about what someone says and say, you know what? I can see your point of view, and then just drop it and move on. That would have made the conversation a lot more easier instead of, oh, well, no, you're missing the point. Don't fucking tell me what I'm missing.
I said you were missing my point.
But it wasn't your point to make. It was my point. The conversation was my point. I'm done
with this. I'm done with this, LG. I'm not going to fight.
And then you give up. Not fighting.
I'm not going to fight with you.
I'm trying to make you a better person.
I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to fight with you on this. It's not worth it.
Anyway. Yeah, right?
Why does it seem like so many of the things I bring up piss people off? I mean, I'm not even talking politics.
Well, that's a great question, NB Geek. Would you like to go further on that? Because I would love to educate you on why that happens.
Oh boy, I can hardly wait now.
You know, when there's
hold on a second, LDG. Before you decide to go in and tell me tell me that. Let me go Geloja. Let me grab a beer because I have a feeling this is going to be entertaining. So just give me a minute.
Maybe don't grab a beer.
Yeah, if you're.
No, I got to grab the beer. It's outside in the truck, man, because it's 18. I think it's like 18 or 20 degrees outside. But I'm not going to yell at LDG.
You can. I can take it. I'm yell at him. I can take it, dude. Okay, I'm one of the YouTubers
I'm wearing headphones. But sorry, LDG, go ahead.
I won't cry and run. I won't be like yay and leave, and bitch and whine.
Let's be careful. He might jump into the chat all of a sudden.
So yeah, remember I was potty trained at gunpoint. I learned how to pee real fast and on command. Ain't nothing you can say that is worse than what my father put me through growing up. But yeah, no, I just don't like the idea of this Christmas. First, it's a lie. First, it's not even the story that people think Christmas isn't even the story. And then if you want to talk religion, it's not even the day Jesus was born. So that's also a lie. I mean, and then all you're doing is grooming kids to be, good. And that naughty, like, when's the last time a naughty kid got coal? Anyone? So they don't even play by the rules that are set by the story, right? No bad kid actually gets coal, or they get they get exactly what they want. They get their Super Nintendo or whatever the fucking console is out now. They get everything that they want, no matter what. You don't got to be good or bad. And just this grooming that oh yeah, Christmas times, this is the time where you can't be a dick. You're supposed to be nice and be jolly and thoughtful and caring about others, but the rest of the year you're good. You're basically implying that you're trying to make up for a whole year of not giving a fuck, and then now's the time to give a fuck. And that's the way I see it. That's maybe not the way it is for most people, but that's the way I see it. That's all I'm saying. And if I were to raise my kids, they would not be raised this way. Every day should be Christmas.
So then, LDG, does that mean you also really don't like the idea of celebrating birthdays then too?
Well, I feel that birthdays does groom people to think that you weren't a person until you were born. I would like to have had a conception birthday. That might have been nice. Your conception day. Again, I don't want to take away from, just, we can't have any holiday. We can't have any special day.
You understand
birthday.
that it's not usually possible to figure out somebody's conception day.
No, I know the difficulty behind it. Doesn't mean it can't be done.
No, it literally means it can't be done.
No, it can be done. If people just had sex
Suppose
once
you
and
have
got
sex
pregnant.
once a week, then you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Once you
say that you can only have intercourse once a week.
No. There's a difference between intercourse and having fertile
And you
sex.
can only have unprotected sex once a week. Is that something what are you going to
No. For a lot of people, I guess, or for many people, you could just take it by ear, just do it once, see if it worked. If it didn't work, then do it again. There is a time, and once
so
you do it, how long does it take to know if you're pregnant after you've had sex through a test? What, a week?
Days.
A few days?
At least a few days.
So you can't wait a few days before you do it again?
Jesus Christ. Are you going to tell people they can't have sex until they have a test each time to see if they got pregnant?
Who's telling them that? Who's telling who not to have sex?
You.
If you want to know, if you want to know your kid's conception day, yes, then that means you have to pay attention to your conceptions. I mean, that's
ridiculous.
That's no different than anything else in this world. If you want to know when something happened or when something, you got to pay attention to it. You just can't be willy-nilly about it.
That's why we pay attention to the day somebody's born, because we know when that happened. We don't know when they were conceived.
No, that's the lazy people who just want to fall back to the easy to find out day. Oh, well, birthdays are easy because that's when you were born. Rex, back up. Come on. You're not the only one on this planet, Bird, who would actually think that would be an interesting day to know. Rex, come on.
I don't think it would be that particularly interesting to know.
You don't. Yes. Welcome to 4 billion people. You're the version of me that doesn't care. I'm the version of me that does.
You don't get a say because you're not there.
Everyone gets a say in their own Meshuggah. If you want to care, if you want to know.
Because nobody's there advocating for that.
And then you can easily you can easily say, okay, maybe I don't know the day, but I know you were conceived in this month.
Yeah, you can figure out the month. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what you're.
I mean, who knows what time, an hour they were born to begin with? I don't even know what time and minute I was born in.
2:03 p.m. Eastern.
And not everybody knows their exact second. So she went above and beyond to remember the time and
above
day.
And beyond, it's on your birth certificate.
Oh, is it?
No, not necessarily. No, Bird.
Actually,
I got to correct you there. It's not on
the
every
hospital's birth certificate should have the time and date you were born.
No, mine does. My wife's does. My son's does, but both my daughters do not.
I have it online.
It's even Mamo birth certificate has it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is not every state puts the time.
Oh, then there's some dumb, stupid states that don't put the time.
Well, what do you want me to do?
Okay, now I'm back. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying you thought that was every state. It's not.
No, I think it's every birth certificate.
No, it's not every birth certificate because, like I said, I have two kids who have.
You know what?
Dates
I
on their,
don't
dates
believe
on
you.
there. I have.
I think you more
one
than
that
likely you're
doesn't.
missing it. I'd
No,
bet
Just
if I
Google
would see
some
the
birth
certificate,
certificates.
No, I'm
Just
not.
I would find
Google
it.
some birth certificates and look. Take 2 seconds. I would actually be
What
interested
state?
to know
What
if I
state?
know
I'm
that.
going to Google it. What state, NB?
What do you mean?
Don't think. Just tell me the state right now.
Which one do you want? You want
Either one that
Illinois?
doesn't have the time or date on it. Which one?
Okay, look up Illinois, look up Indiana,
Illinois.
look up California, look up South Carolina, look up
One
Florida.
at a time.
You figure
One
it
at a
out.
time.
One. All
One
I
at a
need
time.
is one.
Look
Illinois,
up North
birth certificate.
Carolina. Sorry, not South Carolina, North Carolina. Look up Illinois, look up Indiana, look up California, look up Florida,
has-
look up North Carolina.
And B, he just wants one at a time.
No,
I'm interested
that's
to
all
know
of them.
this. I'm
Figure
with
it
you
out
on this.
your own. I ain't gonna do
We're figuring it out right
I'm
now.
not gonna go to my emergency binder and find my fucking kids' birth certificates just for this stupid shit.
Well, you should have them it should take you 30 seconds to pull those things out. If it's an emergency binder, it should be organized and an easy, like you literally should be able, I can do it.
Oh, you know what? Do not go there. My wife will fuck you up with that one because my wife's the one who manages the emergency
What
binder.
does this have to do with your wife beating my ass?
It'd be entertaining for me to watch.
That would be entertaining. Yes, I would pay $1 for that. I mean, but geez. I mean,
do you really want me to get okay? Seriously, do you?
I just made a
really
comment
Want me to get off my fucking fat ass.
Yes.
Go grab my emergency binder.
Yes.
And grab my kids' birth certificates and tell you which one. Okay.
No,
fine,
I don't.
I'll do it.
I mean,
fine.
if it's gonna take you too long because you can't find it, it's one thing. But you said emergency folder, so if I'm assuming you're like me and you have a filing cabinet with it clearly marked where you could like literally take 30 seconds to grab it and look real quick.
So, Bird, I don't know if you finished your research, but according to what I just did, just a preliminary Google search, the date and time is recorded.
Yes, everything I said shows the date and time recorded. I didn't want to be the one to say it till I could actually find a copy of one, but all the questions, yes, says the date and time is there.
Yeah.
It may be called the long form birth certificate, but it's there.
Yeah, right.
You might not have the long form birth certificate.
That's possible. On power.
Here's my goddamn emergency binder. You see that?
Son of a bitch.
Give me a second. I got to get to the fucking that area. All right, let's see. Let's see. All right, in Sacramento, they did have my sons on there. My daughters, they have. Oh, that's my marriage. That's my marriage license. Okay. Let me do it.
Okay, Hawaii has it.
Okay. Go in here. Okay, if I'm going to eat crow, I'm going to eat crow. My wife's doesn't have it. My wife's doesn't have it.
What
There
state
it
is
is.
she?
Most of the ones that I'm looking at have it, but I mean, that's
Indiana.
interesting.
Indiana. So I was incorrect on what I said. My kids weren't on there. Mine's on there, but I knew one person was not. My wife's birth time is not on her goddamn birth certificate.
Yep. JP says we're all gonna be drinking wine next and having slap fights soon. That way I can just be like, you bitch.
I don't drink wine.
Just like I'm not a connoisseur. I'm just an enthusiast.
Nah, I was hoping somebody got the reference.
I missed it. I'm sorry.
It's a quote from Dracula in the original Universal movie. I don't drink wine.
Yeah, I don't think I saw that one. And if I did, it's been too long.
My daughter, when we did our 16 days of horror, next year we're going to do 13. I did have her watch one black and white, and that was my favorite of the Universals, and that was Creature from the Black Lagoon. That is still my favorite. But I've seen Dracula, I've seen The Mummy, I've seen Frankenstein, I've seen The Invisible Man, I've seen Phantom of the Opera. Love them all.
Mm-hmm.
Also, although I did only just recently in the last 16 months finally see The Bride of Frankenstein. That one and The Son of Frankenstein. Those were ones I had not seen. Oh, and The Wolfman. Sorry, that I had seen that before, but I had to remember that one.
According to Indiana.gov, the time of birth is available on long form certificates, but was not collected from 1949 to 1953. So what you have is not the long form birth certificate. The
Yeah, well, I
long-form
didn't know there were.
certificate would have it.
Okay, well, I didn't know there were short and a long form.
It's understandable.
I've never even heard of such a thing.
Well,
So-
I'm sure you have, because throughout the whole Obama presidency, his long form birth certificate was a giant thing in the news.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I didn't pay any goddamn attention to
It
that.
didn't
I thought
pay
it was
attention to it,
stupid.
right? Well, I mean, it
No, I
was
thought it was
literally
stupid. No, I thought it was
national
stupid
news.
bullshit.
It was literally national news for 2 full years.
Yeah, but remember what I said. I was not into I did not start getting heavy into politics
Had nothing to do with
until
politics. If you just looked at the fucking news,
I had
anybody was
more important
people
things
getting
to
sick
deal
of
with.
hearing about it. It was
Yeah,
on
well,
the news so much.
No, I had more fucking important things to worry about than fucking Obama's birth certificate. Okay, I didn't give a shit.
Is it more that you possibly heard about it and forgot than you never heard
No,
about
I
it?
heard about it. I just didn't pay attention to it. I didn't give it any stock. I didn't make a big deal about it. And when
Okay.
people talked about it, I didn't listen. I was like, I don't care. I was like, I had no interest in hearing it. I literally did not fucking care. I still don't. I knew about it, but I didn't want to bother myself with it. I had too many other things going on in my life.
So now you
worry
did
that
know
that's-
about it, you're saying.
Yes, I did know about it.
Because
Yes,
we
I remember the
started like
first
2 minutes
thing.
ago, you said that you didn't know that a long form certificate even existed.
No,
Now you're
I
saying
did
you
not
did
know
know
a
it
long
existed.
form existed. No, I did not know there
You
was.
just said you knew about it.
No, I said I did know there was a long form and a short form. I didn't know that there. I did not know that. And I did not pay attention to what was going on with the whole Obama and the birth certificate because I thought it was stupid.
You had to have paid some attention to know it was stupid.
No.
No?
This was the attention I paid attention to it. We're questioning Obama's birth certificate. I'm like, this is...
Okay, so you admit you heard about his birth certificate.
I said I heard about it. I said I didn't give
You
a
keep
shit.
changing your fucking story.
No, I'm not changing my fucking story. I said I didn't know there was such a thing as a long version and a short version, and you brought up Obama, and I'm telling you, I didn't give a shit about it. I heard about it, but I did
You
not
heard
give a
about his birth certificate.
Yeah, I heard about it, but I didn't pay any attention to it because I didn't care.
How could you not have paid attention if you knew it was about his birth certificate?
I heard it all though. I heard somebody fucking say it and heard it once on the news.
So you heard the fucking thing existed.
I didn't say I didn't.
The defense rests.
Okay,
No. Your case is invalid because I said I did not know about a short version and a long version of a birth certificate. And you're trying to equate just because Obama's fucking birth certificate was called into question to somehow, and I'm telling you, I wasn't paying attention to it. I wasn't interested. I didn't care. But somehow you expect me to remember from all the way back in 2008 about the long, the short version of a birth certificate about a subject I didn't give a fuck about. If the defense, if you're trying to be the prosecution here, you failed.
Wow, Friday's risk game is going to be real fun. Anywho.
Objection. Hearsay.
Thank you, LDG. We needed that.
On that note, we're going to wrap it up here. I'll go around the block here. LDG, any streaming later today?
Besides Underground, yeah, we'll be doing it underground. freethenet.org/underground. Come hang out. I don't know if we'll be doing a live stream. I might be doing a test of I want to see if StreamYard fixed their issue with their new feature. So I might do something on that today. You might see me pop up streaming from the web server instead of streaming on a platform, YouTube or whatnot. So that's about it. And I'm watching. We're watching. What do we got going on in the underground? So whenever there's something to play right now, we're watching 1899 or something like that with the Prometheus.
Okay.
So that's been interesting.
1899. Why does that sound familiar?
It sounds like
Something about
1896.
boats.
Oh.
Something about like
Is it a
Titanic
movie?
boats.
It's a movie, right? It's a recent movie.
It's a show.
It's a show.
Series.
It's a Netflix show. So basically a movie just cut up into 8 parts.
Miniseries.
Okay. NB, got anything going on you want to plug?
I recommend going to see Violent Night. It's a good escape movie. I'm trying to promote it because I actually do want that movie to be successful.
Gotcha. Well, I know my brother wanted to watch it, so I'll have to give it a look-see. And then finally, Birdo Prey, are you streaming or releasing anything you want to plug for later
Red
today?
Light at 4 p.m. today.
That's 4 p.m. Eastern, correct?
4 p.m. Eastern, yes. Thank you.
Yep. That's the problem with me living in a mountain time zone. So.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
You're good. All right, everybody. Well, we're going to go ahead and bounce out of here. It's been a fun morning session. It's been a long one, actually. So, but I will schedule the rest of my morning shows as per usual. I just missed out and forgot to do it last night. So that's why we're a little bit late this morning. And also the coffee took a little bit more time. So thank you, everybody in the chat for hanging out. And thank you, everybody here on the panel for hanging out with me as well this morning. And we'll see what kind of mischief we can get into tomorrow morning. So until then, thank you, everybody. And we will see you next time.
Everybody.
This is Captain MKG signing off. Take care, everyone.